Hello there, my Capricorn gang. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald, bringing you your monthly reading for the month of November 2021. As always, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube, please don't hesitate to hit that red subscribe button and the bell so that you're in the know of all of the new and amazing content as it is released. Stepping into your energy, first and foremost, I say, I use the traditional Rider-Waite deck. That's my go-to deck when I do my readings. So, stepping into your energy this month, Capricorn, I really feel as though there is a sense here of a beautiful disaster. You are emerging from your cocoon. You're about to transform into this beautiful butterfly. What is being shown to me here when I feel like this beautiful disaster is it's almost as if I'm peering into someone's eyes, and so they have it very well put together on the outside. They are very beautiful, and then in their eyes it just reflects so much sadness, hurt on the inside, soul level sadness, right? That needs to be healed. It's wounds buried deep within inside that needs to come up for, to surface, to heal. And so that's really what I'm feeling with that. Stepping into the first week here, Capricorn, this is the process that's going to happen this month. Clearly we have here the Page of Cups, okay? So this is a you moment, right? This beginning of this month here is definitely a you moment with this Page of Cups. I do feel as though there's some strange phenomena happening where you are maybe waking up early, 3 a.m., something to that effect. Now, I don't necessarily feel as though this is a result of like external events. I don't feel that anything that has anything to do with it, although there could be some things in your external environment causing that. This is, like spirit is kind of like there with you in those moments. But I feel like your body is kind of like waking you up. It's like almost as if your body wants to be on that cycle of like getting up early and then going to bed early. And that's something that's maybe not happening at this point in time. But, I feel like in this moment or in those times where it's quiet, right? It's like outside of that chaos, outside of all of the stuff that's happening in the external world that's going on like all day, every day, one thing to the next, where it's so fast paced. It falls by the wayside when you're up so early, right? I feel like it's super quiet. You have time to process your emotions. Your mind moves at a little bit of a slower pace. You're able to really process things. And so allowing yourself to have those moments is very beneficial to you, especially at this time. I feel like this is a moment where you might be sitting in gratitude. You might be expressing gratitude. It could be very beneficial for you even to express gratitude outwardly, whether you're journaling, whether you're saying those things, affirmations in your mind, expressing that to spirit. I feel like, this is also a time to really think about how you want to show your love to the world. That's what this Page of Cups is doing, is offering his cup of love. And so I feel like it's time for you to think about moving forward how you want to leave an impact on the world. And so making this time constructive and work for you. With this Page of Cups, it really attests to in those times, when you get up, maybe you want to read, right? Maybe you want to do some journaling, maybe you want to read, maybe you're going to be taking a class of something that's really important to you and you want to, work on those things during those times. This is really about being persistent and making your dreams come true, okay? Now, I feel like, this is definitely you standing here thinking about your emotions, processing your emotions, and then tying that into your physical world and moving forward, right? How you can impact the world with, leaving a legacy, right? Tying that into your existence, right? Beautiful energy to start this month of Capricorn. Moving into the 7th through the 13th, we have the Fool card with the Moon. Okay, so new beginnings. I feel like here it's almost as if you have that new beginning, but you're kind of gullible, right? It's almost as if you're walking through the world in a little bit of a dream state. And so it's like whatever anybody tells you, like, okay. And so, it's coming to your own conclusions based on what you see is really going to be the theme for you this week. And I feel like, you might not know all of the details about things, but you're like ready to go. And so you jump in, like right out of the gate, you're jumping into things. And so there is a message here for you to just kind of be mindful of what you're getting yourself into, because you just don't know exactly everything that's happening. And so, again, like the Sea of the Fool, he's like on the edge of the cliff. Now, Spirit will always have your back, but it will look a lot scarier going down until that parachute opens, right? And so, I really think that it's important to just be mindful that there are some hidden things, there's some details that might come up, little kinks to work out along the way. But I do feel like even though there's muddy water where things kind of can be a little bit cloudy as you're working through that, it's important to be mindful that you don't assume things, right? That you don't just jump to conclusions and assume things. If you need clarification on things, ask. If you have questions about things, ask. If you don't know something, don't just take it upon yourself to try to figure something out. It's probably not going to work out in your favor. So I do feel too with this that, we're talking about working up to your full potential, and it's not that you don't have that potential, because you absolutely have the potential to do what it is that you're putting your mind to. I think you have to work on thinking about like what your inherited traits are, what your limitations are, what you're really good at, what you're not so good at, what you need to work on, and then what you can adapt to in terms of like what you can learn, what new skills you still need to learn, what skills you have, and then where you can put it all together and put the puzzle together going forward. Moving into the 14th through the 20th, we have the Emperor with the Five of Wands. Okay, so with this, I really feel as though this Emperor comes in with this message like, man, this is my way or the highway. So this could be you. I do feel that this could be you. But I feel like what this is that, you're actually just playing out things that may have just been like learned throughout your whole life. And so like you're just adapting. You're just like going with the flow in terms of like what you've learned and adapting to your environment that you're currently in. Now we're talking about like what's passed on generation to generation, right? Like your parents did the best that they could based on what they knew, as their parents did, right? So we're talking about like generational things, right? Now with generational things, we get like great things, which would be like heirlooms, right? You get like the beautiful pieces of jewelry that are passed down generation to generation that mean amazing things. You get really beautiful stories told about things that are passed down generation to generation, or traditions where on Christmas Day you do this or that, right? Because so-and-so did, and so like those things, right? But then you also get with that this conflict, right? Where things that have happened in past generations can leave an energetic impression on you and leave a lasting impression. And so then it's like things that need to be worked out in this life as a result of that. And so it might have played out actually in your, with your parents. So your parents might have raised you a certain way. You might have witnessed things like arguing, things like that. And then you bring as you're raised, you like see that, and you see that this is what's normal. And then then you carry on. And you do that like out of habit almost, where you're not realizing it until you realize it, right? Until you know better, do better. My Angela. So I feel like with that, that's part of this, some of this conflict, but part of this could also be an internal conflict, right? Where you really aren't aware of a lot of things. There could be some subconscious things creeping up. I feel like in order to change these dynamics, you have to you have to start to make conscious decisions to change, right? Like if you don't like how things are happening, if you don't like the dynamic that's being created when you're having these conversations with somebody or in these circumstances with somebody, you have to do the dance. You have to change how you respond. Then this person will change how they respond, right? Like it all has to change, and then it's gonna like slowly be an evolution of change, right? It's not going to change overnight. It doesn't happen that way, unfortunately. And so that's something to be mindful of. But I feel as though it's almost like this like tabloid where you have like this major headline and it's like this attention grabber and then everybody wants to read it. It's like, do you know the whole story? I feel like if it's something you have to kind of like convince yourself that it's okay, then it's probably not okay, and that's just something to be mindful of. I think you do kind of, have your suspicions up where like, gosh, you're kind of like loosely questioning the ideas, questioning what's happening, and that's where the internal struggle is coming, because you're like, I'm not certain that this is working for me anymore. I want it to work for me because change is scary, but inevitably something is going to have to change, whether you are changing it by changing your habits and patterns and how you respond to change the situation or try to change the situation, which that's also going to be a huge endeavor, or you're actually removing yourself from the situation to get a different perspective on things. There's going to be a lot of dynamics. It's going to take a lot of energy. And that is something that is with this internal struggle. Talking to somebody about that would definitely be very beneficial to help you to problem solve through some of this as well. So, but again, if you're doing some of that journaling in the mornings, I think that that's going to help you to identify some themes, identify your feelings even regarding some of these things that are going on, to help you to overcome some of these. I think there's barriers, there's issues, and some of that is you don't maybe want to share your feelings. It's not something that you do or that you did in the past, and now it has to happen because you can't ignore these things anymore. Moving into the 21st through the 27th, we have the 9 of Cups, accompanied with the 5 of Pentacles, coming out with the Lovers card. Now this looks to me like, being on the brink of disaster, but coming back from that strong, right? Okay. But this is your wishes fulfilled. So this is kind of good energy, really. I do feel as though there's like a reckoning, right, this week where you kind of like understand that there's like this moral of the story, right? You draw some sort of a conclusion where you're like, coming to full acceptance, realizing that it's meant to be this way or it's designed to be this way. You're accepting that there's a lesson within this for you, and that's a good energy to be in order to move forward. I do feel like you're going to be moving into big new energy overall. I do feel like you're on the edge of something really, really great, and I do feel like it's super tempting to like sidestep your current path because things look a little ugly at times and it's overwhelming. But if you were to deviate from that path at all and try to forgo the lesson, so to speak, you will end up in a place where your beauty, I guess, the beautiful thing on the other side of that lesson will be delayed coming in, okay? Or it will change how it comes in or what it looks like when it comes in. It won't be as beautiful or as glamorous, right? And so it's really important that you stay the course, right, so to speak. It will be very tempting to try to sidestep it. There will be a lot of things maybe showing up this week that will try to tempt you, to distract you, to take you away from your path, or take you off of your staying the course. But remain vigilant, stay strong, and keep it moving, okay? I do feel as though there could be some conversation that you had or have with somebody this week in which things could be taken out of context, and whatever is said can turn into a bit of a catastrophe in terms of that brink of despair where you're feeling like, gosh, I don't even know if this relationship can be repaired, or if we can pull through this. And then you do, like at the last second, you're like, oh, okay. It's like a complete misunderstanding is what I really feel with that. But it's like a miscommunication, and in the end, all of it is well, but it's going to feel a little ugly there for a little bit. Okay, moving into the 28th through the 30th, we have the 9 of Swords. I do hear the Aerosmith song "Living on the Edge" with this one, and so this is like you up at night, anxious, worried, right? Things are worrisome, and I feel like with this, it's like understanding that the world is kind of a crazy place. And so you have certain habits, certain routines that you've adapted to try to help you to cope and to get through things, and that's okay. Not all of them are healthy, but sticking to some of these certain patterns and routines has become, like normalcy. That you've adopted this type of a lifestyle, right? And now it's gotten you to a point where maybe you're worried about your health. Maybe you're up at night worried about somebody else's health. And so you're kind of questioning. You have like a little bit of remorse, maybe regret about, like, gosh, how did I get here? Or how did we get here? And so, I feel like you're kind of feeling stuck in a rut. Like you can't see your way out. Feeling like, like I can't do this, right? Feeling just overwhelmed. And so I feel with this, it's important for you to understand that at that rock bottom, that's where your motivation comes in for change. You have to make a conscious decision that you are no longer going to be walking through life blindly, but you're going to make conscious decisions every day, all day, every single moment, to go in the opposite direction of where you're at, right? You have to decide that this is not where you want to be, and you have to make every single moment count, and make every single decision that you make support that decision, right? So moving into an energy where you're not feeling like a victim, not feeling like, gosh, I'm damaged goods and there's nothing that I can do about that. There's nothing I can do to change my situation, but like slowly taking one step at a time to get yourself into a place where you know that you are holding the power, you hold the key to the kingdom, right? And so that's, a space in which you are the person that is responsible for your life. You are the person that is responsible to make those changes, nobody else. And so you can do this. You just have to believe that you can do these things. And then each and every moment, making sure your actions and your words are aligned with what it is that you want. Go after what you want, and go after it ruthlessly, because life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be amazing. There are amazing things out there for you. And you just have to claim that. You have to claim it to be yours. So moving into your overall advice here, Capricorn, is the 2 of Wands. What I feel with this is, again, a little bit of like overlooking the castle, saying, gosh, what else is out there? You've got the world in your hands, kind of wondering, where else can I go from here? You're in the safety of the castle, but you want more, right? There's got to be something more, that Sugarland song. And so, maybe reflecting on past choices and understanding how it led you to your current circumstances. Understanding that something is missing and desiring so much more. Know, though, that leaving that castle is not as scary as you think it is. There's so much beauty out there waiting for you and so much love. And I'm sending you so much love as well, Capricorn, whatever you believe you can achieve. So beautiful reading here for you. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest. Not all general readings can resonate for everybody, but if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up at the Square site that's posted in the description box below here on the YouTube, or if you're catching me on the Facebook, it's pinned at the top of my Enchanted Emerald page. And if you're interested in emailing me, you can do that as well at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.